Hello, let's learn how to make a pattern for making a pleated fabric. So this is manila paper. You will need about 3.5. I joined two together in the longest parts, and now I want to divide one of the paper into two and join to both sides. Okay, so you can just fold it. This manila paper is a thick paper. It is not cardboard, it's other than cardboard. Okay, so you need it. So divide it into two. You also measure about 1 cm at the edge, just so that you can glue it in a very neat way. So just 1 cm, put the glue and put the other one just at the edge, so you have a neat joining. Okay, and then do the same thing by the other side as well. Now I already cut the circle. It's a half circle, 180 degree, and so I'm just using the fabric to cut the pattern. Okay, you can make it bigger or maybe smaller, anyhow you like it. Okay, but I'm using the size of the circle I already cut on the fabric to get the pattern on the paper, and marking the circumference area. So this can be based on what you want. It's going to be based on your measurements. And I'm also trying to get the length at the end, so measuring from the tip in the middle, just the way you cut for circle, you measuring around. So you notice that at the end there, it's not enough. I'm going to join a paper. Okay, I'm going to join a paper, but then I'm trying to curve the round shape at the M so that I can get joined together and I can know exactly where I need to join and how much more I need to join. Remember, this is three manila paper. I'm cutting, just leaving extra space at the M. I don't want to cut exactly on the line, and I'm taking another manila paper, folding into two to divide. So at the end I'd use 3.5 manila paper. Okay, I'll fold this into to divide, and then that's half I'm folding again and dividing. Okay, so I'll fold again and divide and join. Just measure about 1 cm. Just again, I'm just measuring that so that I can have a neat way of joining the papers and tape the papers together using the widest part and putting it at the M. Okay, so I'm just measuring there again, 1 cm, put the glue and also glue down. All right, so with that I can connect and measure out what is left for it to be complete. Okay, and then I curve out the rest to form the entire shape, and that is it. Also, I'm just leaving extra space at the M, just so that I'm not cutting exactly on the measurements that I want to use. At the top as well, I would measure to be sure that the radius is correct all the way around. So I saw that it was remaining small, so I'm measuring. Remember, the radius is based on the circumference of what you are working with, and I'm leaving just a little space at the top as well. Then, just because the glue might not be enough, we'll be folding this a lot, so I'm using sellotape, a big sellotape, to tape all the areas that were joined, the horizontal part, the vertical part that was joined. So I'm taping them together so that it gives it an extra hold. So please do this across every areas that you joint the paper, so that your paper doesn't tear when you're trying to pleat the paper. All right, so now when we are done with that, at the M, that place where we mark, not the last M, you want to measure how wide your pleat is going to be, and I measured to 2 inches and marked there. Also on the circumference, as you can see, I measure round and divided by for example, if I measure around the M to 2 inches and I got 50 lines, then I'm measuring the circumference at the top and dividing by 50 so that I can get half inch, and that half inch is what I use to connect the lines together to have this line. So this is going to be my pleats line. I have cut another of this circle, making it 2 circles that I worked with. So that means at the end I used 7 papers, and I've placed that under, and I'm using pins to hold them together at the edge, just at the edge at that top. Then pick each lines and fold. So the way you do, how we used to make fan with paper when we were young. That's the way you are going to be pleating. Pick one of the pleat lines and fold over the other one. Okay, so you're going to see how the final work looks like. It takes a lot of time, especially if you are working with a big pattern like this, but you have to take it slow and steady. Okay, so look at how it is. Look at the finished work. So with this, our pattern for our pleating is ready. So in the next video, you'll see what we do with this. Thanks for watching.